Hello, I'm Leoma from Style The Clutter. Welcome to my home. I'd love to show you how I've decorated it for Christmas. This space is the heart of the home. I live here with my husband, 3 children, 2 cats, a dog and 3 chickens in the garden. Being an interior designer, it was so nice to finally do my own project doing this extension. Throughout the house over the 11 years, we've done a lot. We've added back period features, we've opened up spaces, we've put back fireplaces, but this has really made the home. So we wanted to bring in as much light as possible into this space because it's north facing. So we went massive with a big arch and window and then skylights, and it really has become the focal point for Christmas. We love hanging out in this area. It's a very social area. Everyone seems to always gather around the island when we have parties. Because we spend such a lot of time in the kitchen, I love adding little touches to the space. So bows always go a long way in here. I love hanging them on the handles, the lights. To avoid having too much clutter, I always take away what's there and replace it with a Christmas decoration. For instance, there's usually a clock up there, so I've replaced that with a lovely wreath along this shelf. I've taken quite a few practical bits out for the Christmas season and added in bows and candles and little trees. Some bows have even crept into the pantry. I've got a little bit of a floristry background, and that has turned out to be very useful when it comes to Christmas. These little pine cone decorations I made using pine cone attaching the bow and then a bit of foliage behind it. But you will find throughout the house there's different elements of little floristry touches that I still use today. And I like to keep the island quite clear in general and let the other decorations speak for themselves. So to balance out the reds, I went quite simple on the lights and just found this ribbon in my drawer. I think it was from Cox & Cox last year, just to keep it all quite simple and soft along the island. And the red bows along this side all tie in really nicely with the tree, which is the main focal point in this room. So this is one of 2 trees. This is the main tree, our real one. I've seemed to have stuck to red the last few years on this tree. I just love the contrast with the kitchen. We've got another tree in the front room, which is a bit more sort of grown up and neutral, but this one's our fun tree that the kids absolutely love. We always start with the lights at the top and work our way down around the tree. I like breaking up the reds a bit with a bit of white, which really helps the reds actually pop even more. One of my top tips for decorating the tree, especially if you're sort of sticking to one bold colour, is to break it up with different textures. So here we've got a bit of glass, we've got some paper, decorations that are folded, and then obviously the ribbon, the velvet. Because we love this colour palette so much, rather than changing the colours each year, we tend to stay to the same tones, but I change it up with pattern, so introducing the stripes. So this year we added in the candy canes, all finished off with ribbons. I love ribbons, I use them everywhere, especially the velvet, which gives a really nice texture and depth to the tree and just brings it all together really nicely. This is our dining room space. It's just off the kitchen. We inherited this with the house and it's always so lovely and bright in here. We spend a lot of time here with our family, celebrating birthdays and Christmases, and I love bringing in greenery to this space. When we first moved in, I found this area quite vast and I sort of experimented with lighting and then a branch, and this was about 11 years ago now, and a branch keeps reappearing every Christmas, which I love decorating and having a bit of fun with. Every year it's quite different. This year I've gone for the bows and the velvets and quite a lot of texture with the berries. This is actually a branch from our garden. Sometimes it's one with a lot of sprigs and twigs coming off it. This year we've gone quite green. It's become a real family tradition. So I've tied it in a bit with the tree, with the reds. We've got the same bows going on in the branch as we have in the tree, and also linked into the kitchen too. So with the tablescape, I started with the garland. I layered 2 garlands together to create the depth and added a few berries in the garland. I even made these little paper decorations here, which are little bows tying in with a theme of bows in the tree and in the kitchen. And then just a few fun bits. I found these, I think, in Next. Little fun trees tying in with a candy cane theme, as well as the crackers. I always love to add like different heights to a table with candlesticks. So these are sort of vintage candlesticks I've collected over the years, and I love just spreading them across the table, mixing up the heights. So with the place names, I try and change it up every year. This year we've gone for little pine cones with some foliage and little cards to put the name on. So these pine cones were a last minute addition because I wanted to add a bit of height to the napkin, and I literally found them in my office. So sometimes you can just use something that's lying around the house, like a Christmas decoration, or even cut out a little paper heart. So like the tree where we've collected decorations over the years and they come out every year, I've done the same with my cutlery. So I've got my special brass cutlery that comes out for Christmas and special occasions when we've got guests. Glassware again, these are the ones that are all matching in the house. So I've got my special little champagne glasses, and all these elements together make the table feel so special on Christmas Day. This is our living room where we start Christmas Day. The stockings are always here on the fireplace, and in contrast to all the reds going on around the house, I've gone for quite a neutral tone this year with the white, so it's all quite snowy and soft. With the mantelpiece, I love layering again, so there's actually 3 garlands that I've layered on here. I started with 2 eucalyptus and then the fir and then these little crystals afterwards just to embellish it a little bit. I've kept it really calm in here, as we know Christmas can be so busy, so it's really nice to have a room that we can just retreat to. I always get asked how I hang a garland, and I always use really large command hooks, in this case very large ones, as it is so heavy with the 4 different garlands hung together. So as this room is so symmetrical with the 2 paintings, the sofas, I quite like throwing it off a bit, so that's why I've just added 1 bow rather than 2 on this garland. And then the candles all very central with different heights. For white decor, my go-to is always the White Company. These little candle holders are from the White Company. I also love Cox & Cox, so the snowflakes from Cox & Cox, as is the bow. And then the candles are all from IKEA. And these lovely little tree decorations from Layered Lounge. Yeah, changing up the heights of your candlesticks and the little trees all comes together, but adds really nice moments of interest. So the theme of bows carries through to the tree, with the white theme and the crystals and the glass going through it. Before we did the extension, we always had a Christmas tree in here, so it's nice to keep the tradition going and having one still in the bay window. I've kept this one very elegant this year, very calm, reflective of the mantelpiece and the room as a whole. And this is our staircase, which I love decorating with swags. Somehow that's stuck on this staircase. Every year it swags, but every year it looks very different. This year I've gone for 2 very different types of fir foliage. One's quite loose, one's quite tight. Put the tight one on initially and then layered with the looser one. So it's 2 different layers. I tie it with floristry string around the banister. So I've added berries into the foliage, and I like to weave this in so it just looks quite organic and blends in. With the bow, I've used a little hairpin to attach it to the foliage. That's a really good trick. Very subtle and really works. And I've added little LED lights. I think they just add that little extra touch of sparkle. To reflect the banister and all the swags going up it, I've done some mini swag here to dress the console and the mirror area. Very subtle, very soft, because that's quite a statement. So I've added a few berries and a few red touches to an already existing floral display, which is a really nice way to use what you've already got and just zhuzh it up for Christmas. Thank you so much for coming to my home to see how I've decorated it for Christmas. I hope you have enjoyed it and found a few ideas to inspire you. I wish you a very Merry Christmas.